Hello and welcome back. Today we are actually in Kansas. As many of you may know, I'm actually from Kansas originally, and I wanted to fish one of my old stomping ground spots. It's actually a little pond up top and it drains off into this creek. And then I actually always have luck catching green sunfish here, and I love green sunfish, especially on the ultralight. So I wanted to talk a little bit about where I come from and why I got into making videos, just because many of you have asked. So with all that being said, let's start casting, catching some fish, and I'll explain as we go. Let's do it. So essentially this is just a spot right in town, and there's a little pond up there, and then it runs off into a creek. And I always come down here and I fish this creek, and I always have luck for little green sunfish. It's almost automatic. So I'll just flip that out there, and there oh, I had a bite already. And I know this seems like really pathetic fishing, but it's so much fun. It's just so simple. Like, look at that. Look at that. Like, I just love how beautiful these fish are. And there's a mix of bluegill, green sunfish, and some other sunfish species, but the bulk of them seem to be green sunnies. And some of them are actually pretty big. So on the ultralight, I have a blast every single time. There's another one. So a lot of times the way I tell that they're green sunfish is, one, they've got a huge mouth relative to their body, and then they've also got this really high visibility yellow on their fins. It's just gorgeous looking. They're so pretty, but with that, yeah, they're super, super aggressive too. One of the most aggressive fish for their size. But one of the main reasons I wanted to actually come out here is to talk about where I come from and kind of why I decided to get into videos in the first place. So, oh my goodness, we have to talk about this real quick. This is unbelievable. This is maybe one of the smallest fish caught on YouTube of all time. It's basically the size of a quarter, and I love every bit of catching him. He's gorgeous, and I'm just gonna turn him loose so he can become a giant. Oh, there he went, he's gone. But essentially, I am born and raised in Kansas, and yes, I live in Michigan now, but many of you have asked me a little bit about my background, so I wanted to tell you kind of where I come from and why I love fishing so much. Personally, I got into fishing pretty big when I got into high school and started learning how to drive. It allowed me to go out and do stuff with my friends, and I started to realize that fishing is super fun. A lot of my friends come from the farm, and so they had farm ponds, and we would always go out and throw rooster tails and beetle spins, just really basic stuff. And we would just catch all sorts of bass, and I immediately got hooked. As I started getting really, really into it, I decided I wanted to start tournament fishing because that's what I saw all these big pros doing. So I started fishing some local tournaments in my area, really basic stuff. And I just got more and more in love because that was the first time I'd ever really ridden in a boat. And so naturally, as I decided I wanted to go to college, at Kansas State University, by the way, I decided that it would be really fun to fish in the college fishing team. And so you've probably heard me talk about that a little bit in the past if you've been following along for a while, but essentially, I met a lot of good friends and I just became a much, much better angler through college fishing. Now, obviously, you guys know that I'm not much of a, whoa, what do we have here? Is this a creek chub? It is a creek chub. Gotta love a little creek chub action every now and again. They might be an ugly fish, but I tell you what, they're fun nonetheless. But like I was saying, I'm not much of a competitive fisherman anymore. I basically just fish for fun. And so I guess what you're probably wondering is, well, why do you make videos? Funny story on the videos thing, I actually got really into making videos when I was in, wow, actually this is a nice one. I got really into making videos when I was in high school, and I did a lot of this, mostly for bass, but I got really, really anxious about what people would think about me, so I stopped doing it when I got to college. Once I got out of college and I really felt like there was just a creative gap in my life, I rediscovered making videos, and I've had so much fun ever since. The reason I do it is just simply because I really have fun doing it. But then on top of that, it allows me to connect with other people from different locations and hopefully help them catch more fish and have more fun outdoors. My whole goal of my channel is really to inspire a love for the outdoors, because personally I find it extremely important that everybody spends time outside and then really just values the environment and values our earth. So there's a lot of things obviously in my story that you don't know about yet, but essentially that's like the basics of the story. Whoa! And I know this video is a little different because it's essentially just me telling us a little bit about my story while catching tiny fish. But what else would I do while I tell my story? I mean, catching tiny fish is kind of just my MO at this point. Oh my goodness. Another one bites the dust. Coming back to the point I made earlier, I made videos in high school and I gave it up because I cared what people thought of me. How stupid that is as I think about it now. You really shouldn't worry about what other people think about you, especially if it's something that you really love doing. But I guess that's easier said than done at this point in my life because now I'm 26 years old. When I was doing it back then, you know, I was a teenager and I was just concerned about what people thought of me. My advice is always to do what you love doing and not worry what other people think. Like, some people might think catching tiny fish isn't fun, but in my opinion, it's absolutely a blast. Sunfish are crazy, they're wonderful, they're beautiful, and I love every bit of it.
So there's the drain deal, and it just basically flows down. We've been getting a ton of rain, and so it's super high, but there's a lot of fish back here, so it's super awesome. So I'm just gonna actually fish right here.
I love this. I'm having a blast. There he is. Oh my goodness, it's so small, people. I don't care. I just don't care. Whoa, there he went. Eat it. There we go. Got him. Nice colors on that guy. Look how blue. Look at the blues and oranges. They're just so gorgeous. Let's get an epic release of this guy.
If you guys don't like catching small fish, you're crazy. Small fish are fun. I enjoy it thoroughly. And these fish are just so cool looking. Every time I catch them, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And they all look the same, but it's just like, wow. And the best part about it is that it's home, you know? Catching fish in your home state, catching fish in the location where you grew up, there's just something about it that once you leave and you come back and you go catch a fish, you just appreciate them that much more. It's like these fish taught me so much when I was younger, and it just makes it that much more special.
Behind this rock, there's a bite. He's so small. He's smacking the crap out of it. He's too small. Got him. Yes. Oh, it's so fun. Wow, this one's really, oh, well, he's back. Okay, whatever that fish is, he's tiny and he's really stressing me out. Oh, he's got it. Oh, that little stink. They like to hide right behind these rocks, and they absolutely thrash this thing. It's honestly impressive how small of fish I'm getting to bite my jig. I'm one of those people that I can have fun catching fish of any size. It's just who I am. Oh my goodness, I did it. I finally got him. He's so little, but he's so beautiful. Is this the world record for smallest fish caught on conventional tackle? I hope so. Let's get a picture with this guy. He's so beautiful, I must get a picture with him. All right, little buddy, you're beautiful, but I want you to go home and get bigger.
So I can't confirm this, but I like to think that might have been my smallest fish I've ever caught. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that's actually a serious accomplishment, because I catch a lot of fish that are, you know, less than 3 or 4 inches. So I'm pretty proud of myself right now, people. I'm pretty proud of myself. I really need to spend more time with my family. I would love to sit here and talk to you and, you know, fish for the next several hours, but really what it comes down to is I don't get a lot of time to see my family anymore. So what I'd rather do is turn off the cameras, put down the fishing poles, and spend time with them. So that's what we're gonna do. And I really appreciate you watching this video. I know it's very unconventional. I know it's very, very low edit, low production quality, but it was important that I told you some of these things because I feel like it's really important that you know a little bit more about why I got into this in the first place, and that way you can appreciate kind of what I'm trying to do a little bit more. Regardless, I'm yipping, I'm yapping, I'm really, really rambling here. I need to shut up and go spend time with my family, so that's what I'm gonna do. We'll see you later.